bit bigger than the average X competitor. If Angle wanted to join the X division, wouldn't that alone make fans take notice? Some would say he's sandbagging, but after a couple of losses, it would put the X division way over. Remember your slogan, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. Number 4, the Knockout division. Right now, it is perfectly obvious that the only people that you plan on pushing in the X division is the beautiful people and their alumni. You have Tara back in the motorcycle get-up, but your division has severely dwindled. Now, I know that a lot of this is due to money and time constraints, but there is no excuse for the way Awesome Kong and Roxy were treated, especially Roxy. If there is any way to mend ways with these two, please find it. Roxy is my favorite knockout of all time, even surpassing Gail Kim, who I saw win at BFG 07. When she took that ladder shot and got her head shaved while bleeding, I couldn't wait for her to get back at the beautiful people. But instead, we got the Governor, Taylor, and Roxy dumping muck on them. No hardcore voodoo vengeance a la The Undertaker. Roxy could have been the female equivalent to The Undertaker in that angle. And that's been the Knockout division ever since. Stupid angles, because someone got bored writing for these characters. Please, I want good stories in the Knockout division. I want good wrestlers too. While I don't hate the beautiful people, it's just not a division anymore. It's become a bathroom break like WWE. With that, I'd like to suggest a few talents and to try and sign/re-sign. Sarah Del Rey, Daisy Hayes, Mischief, Roxy, Hamada, Awesome Kong, and ODB. Moving on to number 5, the Tag Team division. Right now, the Tag Team division is pretty solid. It hasn't had a ton of TV time, but we're finally getting Guns as champions, and they're wrestling beer money, the way it should be. The two best tag teams going at it. The two things I would change would be to bring back heel LAX. I think if you have a tweener team and beer money, a face team and Motor City Machine Guns, and the heel team in Latin American Exchange, you could have some of the best tag team stories and matches in wrestling history. Also, I'd like to see more behind-the-scenes stuff with the teams. Maybe some more rough cut segments to show off how the teams function together as a unit, much like what was done with LAX when they split. Number 6, the TNA programming. TNA Impact. The show is overbooked, plain and simple. It's 3 hours of TV crammed into 2, minus commercial time. The only option that I see is less story, more action. Less production, more wrestling. TNA Reaction? It's a good show, except for one problem. It's all kayfabe. A TNA reality/behind-the-scenes show would be great for the hardcore fans, and it would show the casual fan what wrestling is really truly like. TNA Explosion, it doesn't focus on wrestling enough. It focuses more on stories, just like Impact. Number 7, TNA Programming Solutions. Wow, he's actually giving us solutions. Wow, okay. Option A, branch out and specialize. TNA Explosion would be an X Division themed show with lots of high spots and a 6-sided ring, innovative matches and stipulations. TNA Impact would be a more heavyweight themed show centered around the world title picture, 4-sided ring, and a more traditional approach to wrestling and storylines. TNA KO would be a knockout-themed show based solely on the girls, showcase great characters and storylines like you would on Impact, make the girls act realistic and athletic. TNA Gemini would be a tag team-themed show with occasional trios 6-man matches. tournaments, and trophies. This is where you would showcase the World X Cup, or renamed the TNA World Cup, every 2 years or so. Option B is specialize within your current product. Allow each week to center around some other division. Spread out your storytelling among your 4 major divisions. One night let it be X Division night. You'll still have all your other stories and divisions, but let the hype and the main event rest around the X Division for the night, or tag, or knockout, and alternate. Number 8, TNA booking. You need a separate booking team with each division. That way they compete for airtime and all your stories are going to go up in their quality. When you have one person writing the whole show and then a couple more editing it down, the lower divisions get lost in the shuffle. Find people who actually care about the X, tag, and knockout divisions and let them write for them and compete with Vince Russo and the others for airtime. I enjoyed the Scott D'Amore era a lot. If he's open to coming back and writing for the X Division, I'd recommend it. I appreciate the time taken to read this, and I appreciate how much TNA cares about their fans. Please don't change that. We love you, TNA. God bless your business, talents, and the extended TNA family. Sincerely, Joshua David Lee. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and, without any kind of segue, go ahead and read their response, which I'm also going to put down here underneath. Josh, right off the bat, getting my name wrong. Joshua, sorry, I'm picky about that. But anyway, thanks for your comments and support. TNA Entertainment, TNA, does not knowingly accept unsolicited submissions, including without limitation, submissions of scripts, storylines, articles, fanfiction, characters, drawings, information, suggestions, ideas, or concepts. If sent electronically, TNA's policy is simply to delete any such submission without reading it or forwarding it to other TNA staff. If sent via mail, TNA's policy is to return any such submission to the sender once it has been determined by TNA that the material is unsolicited. Therefore, any similarity between an unsolicited submission and any elements in any TNA creative work, including without limitation, a show, film, or story, would be purely coincidental. Even though TNA attempts to return all unsolicited submissions, if you do send us any data, comments, creative materials, suggestions, ideas, notes, drawings, concepts, or other information, collectively the information, by electronic mail or otherwise, the information shall be deemed and shall remain the property of TNA. None of the information shall be subject to any obligation of confidence on the part of TNA, and shall not be liable for any use or disclosure of any information. TNA shall exclusively own any now known or hereafter existing rights to the information of every kind of nature throughout the world, and shall be entitled to unrestricted use in the information for any purpose whatsoever, commercial or otherwise, without compensation to the provider of the information. Sincerely, TNA Wrestling. Yeah, I've written them before, and this is the first time I've ever gotten this. It's been a while, I admit. Honestly, don't know what to think. It's really important to me that they get this information. And if anyone has any information on how to send this the proper way so that they can get it, please let me know. I'm going to be looking at it, trying to figure it out. And I'm going to try and send this one way or the other. If I have to send it by mail, I will, but honestly, leave me your comments below. Tell me what you think. How do you think different TNA shows would be? How do you think an X Division show would do? I mean, sure, it may not do well in ratings right away. I admit that. But, come on. It's X Division. It's the best stuff on your product. It's the best wrestlers in the world. The most exciting type of wrestling there is. And it would be so different. 6-sided ring on that show alone. Come on, guys. It's not that hard. So, yeah, that's my comments for this one. Leave me comments below. And I'll get back to your comments with more comments and more stuff. For this episode, this is the Big Dog. I'll see you later. Ow.